Today we wrap up the top 5 ways to maximize sales with payment plans. Last week, Drew Cameron began the conversation around top 5 ways to maximize your sales using payment plans. Well, this week he's going to finish up that conversation. If you didn't see last week's show, go back and take a quick look. It'll all make more sense. In the meantime, here's Drew Cameron.
We also want to work it into our pricing tools. Now, we can do so on the service side of our business as well as the installation side of our business. But the one thing you have to realize, customers don't object to price. They never object to price. They might be risk averse, but they're never price sensitive. And so if you think that they're buying on price, it's not that they're buying on price. They're buying based on perceived value and perceived affordability, as well as perceived risk. And so leverage, financing, payment plans allow you to avoid that, because once you've established perceived value, you create the perceived affordability with leverage. That makes your job a little bit easier. It takes what you make valuable and makes it affordable, but also makes it make economic sense, right? Because again, if they were basically looking at us for $100 or $200 or $300 a month versus somebody else for probably just a little bit less per month, okay, now it makes a little bit of sense. But when you're $3,000 or $4,000 different, better, more, that makes it still a little bit more difficult. But when it's just a couple dollars a month, it's again going to be easier for you to overcome that objection. But we work it into our service, and so how do we do that? Repair pricing should lead with small monthly payments. So when you're working with your flat rate software provider, make sure that they have payment options baked into the software for you. Show the payment options for bundled repairs as well, right? Not just the Band-Aid fix, but bundled repairs. And we teach you how to do that in our technician communication classes about bundled repairs by offering options to customers, as well as enhancing options, right? Such as air quality options and ways to improve efficiency, ways to improve and enhance the comfort. So it's not just the repairs, it's the other things that can be sold on top of that, because you can finance even your maintenance agreement, if you will, right? And then you include maintenance and extended warranty at a discount with the payment plan. So I like to create payment options within my service department where I can not only just do the repairs, but if we put it onto a financing plan, I'll roll in the monthly, the annual maintenance, as well as an extended warranty. I'll usually do a minimum of 5 years on the repairs that I make, or up to lifetime. But I'm only going to do that if I basically include the maintenance and there's no interruption of that maintenance, and I can roll that into a payment plan and show a customer how they can get back in business and be protected from future issues. I'm going to tell them to consider discussing replacement with a payment plan when the repairs go above $1,000. Most people in your situation, Phil and Susan, when repairs exceed $1,000, especially on an older machine, look at replacement. And we can basically get you into a payment plan for probably just like $100 to $200 a month, well below the $1,000 that you're facing with the repairs. You also want to work it into your installation pricing, right? That's where you want to make sure that you cover the buy down, the dealer cost, right? What we call the discount in the overhead of your business. It is a direct cost, but I bury it into the overhead. I spread that across the entire book of business, whether they finance or not. Okay, and I do that for each of the departments I'm dealing with. So if I have it in the installation department, that fee gets caught up in that department. If I'm doing it in service, I bury that fee in the overhead in the service department. And again, all customers pay for the costs of doing business. All customers pay for my lights and utilities. All customers pay for my dealer costs, right? Because again, I don't penalize people for taking advantage of financing and then give others cash discounts. Because that's a penalty. Why would I penalize people who need to take advantage of the payment plan? I'm also going to show the lowest payment possible in my price book, and then I can work up other options. I'll show you how to do that in the last section. I'm going to have the manufacturer's program available to my resources as one of my resources, because during certain times of the year, they buy down that dealer cost. And so I wouldn't be a fool not to do that, take advantage of the free money from the manufacturer. I'm also going to allow my salespeople to use the judgment of the program they feel the customer would best suit the customer. I don't allow my salespeople to use any of the programs because some of them cost quite a bit of money. Like, for example, I know I never go above 0 for 36, because going above 0 for 36, unless the manufacturer is buying it down, you're basically using a payment customer profile, and it's costing you way more money as a business. It doesn't make any sense. So, and except during the promotional periods of the manufacturer. And I'm not going to, like I said, penalize these payment customers, so there are no cash discounts. So when a customer asks for a cash discount, I said, oh, no, we don't penalize people who take advantage of the payment plan. It makes getting what you want easy and affordable. So we absorb that as a cost of doing business. Right? I mean, that's the way I go about it because that's just a little bit easier. Because we've all gotten caught where we've basically given the discount and then the customer comes back and wants to take advantage of the financing at some point. And so what this screen does is it basically, if you look at from the top left in what we call our Royale system in our price book, all the way down to our classic entry-level system, we gamified the financing, 2.99 for 12 years, 4.99 for 10, 6.99 for 12, 6.99 for 10, 6.99 for 7, 5.99 for 5, and 9.99 for 5. And then we also did the same thing with just a 6.99 across the board. And these are the dealer costs right here. So you can see what the payment factor rather. So you can see what the payment factor is. And then here is 0 for 36, 24, and 12. So these are the three plans that we worked into our price book with one client. And we came up with different payments down here. So you can see with the top option here, 699 for 12, or excuse me, 299 for 12. We got the price down to 118.21 by gamifying the financing. And when I give a lesser plan because they bought a lesser system, right, the payment per month over 5 years, yes, is more than the monthly payment over here. So it's the rate and the term give you that flexibility when you gamify the financing, right? And in the middle, we did the same thing, 699 for 10 and 699 for 7. As you can see, right, the numbers are all relative to each other, right? I mean, all payments are within usually like less than, basically a few dollars a day when you think about that over time. And then at the bottom, by going 0 for 36 versus 0 for 12, 0 for 12 is $700 a month, and 0 for 36 is $400 a month. I'm not lying to the customer. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm letting them know I can offer you a better program when you buy a better system because our mission at EGIA, which we're part of, basically says we are promoting energy efficiency and conservation of resources into the marketplace. That is the mission of EGIA and Contractor University. And so when you can see, basically we have $14,000 systems all the way down to $8,000 systems. It's the payment plans that make it digestible, right? We can all talk in terms of $100 to $300 a month, right? Then we have to use what is called leading language. And so leading language is just, it's what you say and how you say it so that it becomes more appealing to the audience. So for example, you want to basically, phrase utilization of payments as a common way to make most people buy, meaning help people see that this is what most people do when facing a replacement that wasn't expected or repair that wasn't expected. You're going to talk about how energy repair cost savings will offset that investment. You're going to discuss how it's basically the investment, right? The purchase is investment in their largest investment, right? Meaning HVAC, hot water, right? The largest consumers of energy in the home, but they're also some of the largest purchases that they're going to have to make for their largest investment, which is their home. And so you're already financing that. Most people finance the things that they attach to it, right? Help them hold on to their cash when they really need it, especially in an economy like this where there's the run on the banks, interest rates are spiraling out of control, credit approvals drying up, right? So get it while you can to some extent, if you really think about it, and beat today's inflation as well as tomorrow's inflation, right? That way, as well as I do, supply chain stuff as well as inflation stuff, right? So products are getting more expensive. Most people have gone up easily about 30 to 45% per year over year for the last 3 years running. And of course, with this high efficiency equipment online now with SEER 2 and the Inflation Reduction Act, again, leverage the financing. And they already financed the house and the utilities, right, to run the systems. So why not finance the system? This is just what most people do.
Hi, I'm Daryl Yashinsky.
Hey, I'm Bob Larkin.
Many of our contractors meet with us monthly, and you, chances are, have met with us monthly. We found that members have deeper and greater needs.
So we came up with next level coaching, which is we meet a lot more often, and there is accountability to deal with some of the issues of money, growth, finding employees, having an exit strategy to get off this roller coaster. These are the issues that contractors want answers to, and we can provide those answers in Next Level Coaching.
When you join Next Level Coaching, you're going to find solutions that are easy to implement and logical. Most importantly, we hold you accountable to specifics. We're going to meet twice a month and have specific to-dos. And with those specific to-dos, we're going to discuss and dive into your financials in a very granular way. You're going to have a clear budget. We'll be able to establish pricing. We're going to help you create leadership programs that build your people. We're going to help you find people. You may think of differing ways to engage employees that will keep them more involved by joining Next Level Coaching.
So if you're interested in making more money, growing your company, finding good employees, and developing an exit strategy, give Dale and I a call. We'd be happy to talk to you about Next Level Coaching.
And we're going to see you on the next level.
Because see, you can pay off a 30-year mortgage in 15 years. You just can't pay off a 15-year mortgage in 30. Right? It's the term and the rate that gives you the flexibility and control over your money. And most people pay off a 30-year mortgage fast. In fact, in our industry, what we find is that on a 10-year loan, most people, 120 months, most people pay that off anywhere between 36 to 60 months. On average, it's 48 months. Like most people, you finance your existing system with a mortgage when you bought the house, so most people decide to use a payment option when they go ahead and replace it. Right? So this time around, though, the nice thing is you're going to be able to take what you save in energy repair costs and kind of cover that cost. Makes sense, right? And so using language in a conversational manner that leads the customer to the obvious decision just makes sense. Right? And you don't earn all your money at once. It doesn't make sense to spend it all at once to power your home and maintain your home, right? Owning a home is expensive. Maintaining a home is expensive. I get it, right? But you don't need to take all that money out of your pocket to pay for this. That's the great thing about this. And in-store financing is very favorable to most people. That way they don't have to go find money somewhere else. So that's why, like Macy's and Best Buy and all these, Lowe's and Home Depot and Costco, that's why they all offer their own credit cards, because in-store financing, in-store credit is very appealing to people. You also have to train your people to use the leverage, right? And the payment options. And so train on using them by sharing small incremental steps, right, to better solutions that are more affordable. And I'll show you how I do that momentarily. You're not spending the customer money with your wallet, right? Maybe you don't finance things. Maybe you don't put things on credit card because you're a Dave Ramsey or Susie Orman financial disciple, right? But that doesn't mean that the customer should think the way that you do. So let the customer spend the way they want to get what they want. And make sure that you're always discussing payment options early and often. We teach you how to do that in the sales training at HGIA. So I know Dave's going to talk to you about opportunity to join us there. But you can also get pre-approval early in the process or even before you go to the house. Because, like I said, we have that web option, and it's transparent, it's easy, and it only takes 5 minutes. And that way, money is one less thing you have to worry about when you get to the house, as the customer or as a company advisor. You can also precondition customers to get what they want. It's easy and affordable. Right? We always want to make sure that we're doing that. I'm going to show the customers all the ways that they can pay every time, and I'll show you how I do that momentarily. I'm going to lead with payment options versus the total investment. I'm always going to show the lowest payment option for all choices. I'm going to include 10 to 15-year warranties or whatever the term of the loan is that I'm going to be able to offer. I may have to buy those for the third party, that's fine. But I'm going to allow them to have protection over the term of the loan as well. And this way they can also buy the system that they want. Maybe they're not even staying in the house, and maybe they can roll that off, and then their house becomes more sellable, more marketable, and sells for a higher price down the road because it has a high efficiency advanced technology system with an extended warranty. And again, they can just pay off that loan when they sell the house. And that way the customer gets to decide what life experience that they want and peace of mind protection. So I always like to show customers all the ways they can pay. I like to draw this out on a piece of paper. I don't like to calculate it until I know what system that they're really leaning towards. But what I say to customers, I said, well, there's many ways you can pay. Let me tell you all the ways you can pay before you kind of decide what you want to do. Excuse me. And so what I do is I write this down. I write cash or check, and I only show the things in the middle, right? I talk about the points on the side and at the bottom, right? Because I want them focusing on the payments, right? So cash or check upon completion, It's 100% due upon completion. We don't need your money to finance the job. We're solvent, so we don't need the deposit. Hold on to your cash, pay upon completion when you're happy. Okay. There's no reward for doing it. It gives you the least amount of flexibility and control over your money, and you use it for cash reserves, and there's no benefit for doing it. About 10% of our customers do it. About 15% of our customers put it onto one of their credit cards. That way they get their points, their miles, or their cash back. Remember, I'm always showing the numbers in the middle. I'm not showing the numbers at the bottom as far as the percent of people that do it. I'm talking about that. I'm also talking about the points on each of the sides. Okay? And so I know this, and I just kind of rattle it off. Okay. Now it gives you a little bit more flexibility, than paying cash, but you're going to obviously be beholden to the rate on your credit card, which is probably in most cases 16 to 28%, and it ties up your credit and gives you, it takes away some of that flexibility and control in your credit. Then we have basically 0 up to 36. Now again, I say 60 if, again, I'm using the manufacturer's program only. It's going to result in a higher payment, considerably higher. About 20% of our customers do that. That way, you don't have to use all your money. You can get your finances in line. You can cash out an investment if you want. You can go to your own bank and get your own loan if you want. It gives you a little bit more flexibility and control, but there's no fee to borrow the money. However, you got to make sure you pay it off by the end of the term. Otherwise, the fee to borrow the money, which is being interest, I call it the fee to borrow the money, rolls back to day one on the entire loan, not just what you didn't pay. And that's that plan. That's about 20% of our customers. Or you're going to be like most of our customers and take advantage of getting the lowest payment possible. This gives you the most amount of flexibility and control over your money, and it's going to be offset by what you save in energy and repair costs. The cool thing about this is, Bill and Susan, is most of the people who take this, they take the term up to, in this case, up to 144 months. It gives you the lowest payment possible, and if you pay it off a little bit sooner, you effectively lowered the interest rate. Technically, you haven't. It's effective. And the reason I say it's effective because you're still paying $699 just over a shorter term, right? But in essence, if you were going to amortize that out, it would actually be the effect of lowering the interest rate. And what you save in energy repair costs offsets that fee to borrow the money. In this case, $699 on a unsecured loan in this economy is phenomenal if you can get approved for it. $102 a month, save $60 a month, right? Take that away from the 102, you're $42 a month. You're talking about $1 a day, just over $1 a day to get what you want because you're taking money out of the utility company and putting it to work for you. So those are the primary ways. And then when you get really good at this, you can also say, well, if you want to think about it a little bit, what you could also do, what I can also do for you is I can do free for 12 months. No money down, no payments on a monthly basis, no fees over that 12 months. You just got to make sure that you pay it off by the end of the 12 months. In essence, I think you can think in terms of a bridge loan, right? It'll basically buy you the time that you need to go ahead and get your finances in order. And then that way you can get what you want today, stop energy and repair costs, situations today, beat inflation, okay? Take advantage of the promotion, whatever that may happen to be in your business, and then they get what they want, right? Or you can also do free for 6 months, again, with no fees for the customer, and then the balance of whatever they don't pay down during that time frame. This way you can pay down as much as you want during the free 6-month period. Then the loan re-amortizes at $699 for 84 months to get your lowest payment possible, right? And so, again, a little bit more flexibility there for the customer. So those are kind of like I say, I like to show customers all the ways that they can pay. I need to know these. I need to train on these. I need to be able to rattle these off and just write them down onto a piece of paper right in front of the customer, right? You need to show the math. Don't just rattle it off, and don't just have it printed out in a book, and don't have it on a computer, and don't do it on a computer, right? You make it transparent for the customers to see. It's like doing your math when you were in elementary school. You were told to show your work. You show your work to the customer. You make it transparent. It's on a piece of paper to be considered, and then the customer will let you know what direction they want to go. And again, we teach you how to do this in the sales training at EGIA as well. So the last way they can do it, right, is leasing. Right? So the new way to pay Bill and Susan is to get what you want today and over time is the easiest, most affordable, and economical way with one small monthly payment to make your home one less thing to worry about. The cool thing for you contractors out there that are offering, let's say, solar, HVAC, IAQ, plumbing, electrical, smart home technology, system monitoring, indoor air quality monitoring, generator monitoring, water monitoring, all of that. as well as, like I said, the repairs and the maintenance and the consumables can all be rolled into one small monthly payment. So I like to say to customers, how are you planning on paying for your heating and cooling? And I walk them through those scenarios, right? And I say, also, how are you thinking about keeping your family healthy, safe, and comfortable in the event of a power outage? And they said, what are you talking about? Well, these things require power. When the power goes out, how are you thinking about running it? Because if the power goes out, you're not going to be able to run the system. I said, so what most people do is they roll, again, solar panels or generator right into the system and make it one small monthly payment. So for you generator companies, that's how you go ahead and add a generator to about 30 to 40% of your systems by just offering it with the system and making it the waste and the means to power the system. So what you make valuable is what you must make affordable and make sense in everyday life for the people. See, the payment is before energy and repair cost savings. The payment is less than the cost of any of the repairs, probably, as well as the utilities on a monthly basis, or it's about the same. When you look at the cost of the repairs versus the cost of the payment to go ahead and get a brand new system, it's going to be comparable or less than the repairs or the utilities. And it's the same price, cash or credit. We don't penalize people. We break it down to the ridiculous. So you saw what I did. I took what I saved in energy repair costs away from the payment, knocked it down to $42 a month net out of pocket, right? And I broke it down to the ridiculous. It's like just over $1 or so a day, right? And that's probably less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks or a Happy Meal for the kids, right? Or what you spend on going out to lunch at work. So I tie it into what they already pay for, right? Also, probably comparable to not only my repair costs, right, or the utility payment, but it is their utility payment, right, or a cell phone bill with 2 cell phones on it. Think about it this way. If I told you I had a device, right, smartphone, and you could get it, and it would give you access to the internet, you could text, email friends, social media connections, watch a movie, listen to music, pay your bills, everything that you can do on a smartphone. I told you it's $15,000. Would you buy? No, you would not. Most people would, right? But it's what you're doing every month, right? Because the phone itself is over $1,000, and the cell phone bill is like a couple $100 a month, $200 to $200 a month with 2 cell phones on the bill, right? And that's paying for the phone, right? Because I don't even own the phone. And I have to probably buy 3 or 4 phones over that time frame, 5 phones over that time frame, if not more. Right? It's probably going to be more than 14,000, but it's 14 with 1 phone, right? Like I said, that phone's not going to last that 14 years. But see, that's what we're doing anyway. See, we've conditioned consumers to do that in certain other areas, right? Furniture, Best Buy appliances, Home Depot appliances, right? Cars, mortgages. We need to do it in HVAC as well. We connect it to the customer story and personalize it, and then we wrap that payment in the security blanket of protection, what I call peace of mind protection or PUMP, right? With warranties and guarantees to remove all the risk. I even give my customer a money-back guarantee that if they're not happy within 2 years, I'll pay off the loan. I'll remove the system. I'll pay off the loan. I'll give them any payments they've made back, right? Because I'm going to bet on myself and my people every day. That's what you need to do. Remove the risk and reverse the risk.
Awesome content right there. As always, be sure to share this on Facebook. And if you're not a member, click the button below to get a 30-day free trial, giving you access to all of our amazing content. Well, that's our show for this week, folks. We'll see you soon. Until then, bye-bye for now.